AITA for telling my wife I'm not going to sacrifice my hobbies just so that I can babysit? My wife Jane, 34F, and I, 38M, have been together for 5 years. She also brought my stepdaughter Emily, 9F, into our marriage. We have her for 4 days a week, Mount, while she's at her dad's free son. From the beginning, Jane told me Emily doesn't need a second father figure as she has her dad to fill that role. I was only supposed to be a trusted authority figure in case she ever needed anything. I didn't mind and try my best to respect that boundary. She's a sweet child anyway and doesn't cause trouble, so it's not like I have to discipline her. Her father is also a good dad. Emily's dad recently got married and his wife has 2 kids of her own who are at their place Wednesday to Saturday and at their dad's Sunday to Tuesday. Emily and her new step-siblings don't get along at all. They're always fighting and it's pretty toxic. Emily's dad asked Jane if they change their custody schedule to match his stepkids to keep the children apart. It's not a big deal in and of itself because we don't live far from each other, so picking and dropping is no issue and she can easily be dropped off to school no matter where she stays. The issue is my wife agreed to it without consulting me. Jane is currently doing a certification course for the next 12 months and they have classes on Saturdays from 9 to 5 p.m. She asked me if I can babysit Emily on Saturdays. But I can't because I play golf with my brother and sister on Saturday mornings from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. This has been our tradition from before Jane and Emily came into my life, and I had told Jane from much before that this is important to me and my siblings. She asked if I can move to another day, but that's not possible either because my siblings also have jobs and families of their own, so Saturday was the best day for us. I told her she can hire a babysitter, but she doesn't want to spend money when I can do it for free. I told her that wouldn't work for me. She then got mad and said golf is stupid and I should put my stepdaughter over my siblings. That pissed me off, so I told her I'm not going to sacrifice my hobbies just so that she can have a free babysitter. For the record, I don't have anything against Emily. I've babysat her before and she's a good kid. If there was a family emergency or if it was an occasional occurrence, then yeah, I would cancel golf for that day to take care of her, but I can't give up something this important to me for 12 months continuous. She called me a selfish asshole and slept on the couch last night. So AITA? NTA. I was ready to read this and read you for filth. But this is truly an move from your wife. I think it's totally fair that she asks you to help out. But agreeing to it without talking to you, and assuming you'd consistently do this is wild. Why did she agree and then work to loop you in after? It's also interesting that now that your wife needs your help, Emily is your stepdaughter, where it seems like there was a clear boundary that you aren't a father figure. If your wife wants to revisit what your role is to Emily, totally cool. But it shouldn't be because she needs a babysitter. NTA. Your wife can't say her daughter doesn't need you as a stepfather, but then expect you to step up as a stepfather every single Saturday when she needs you. She can to hire a babysitter. Dad and stepmom also need to step it up and work on the relationship between the new step-siblings. And get that under control because there are going to be times they are all together in the same house. That's just life. NTA. It sounds like this is something that should have been worked out more carefully as a family before agreeing to. Is it possible that the dad, stepmom change their kids' schedule as well? That way they have her when Jane is busy with certification courses. Info. Is there a kids class or something like that where you go golfing? Could help integrate the two if a schedule change is not possible. NTA. Pretty straightforward. Sounds like the child's parents need to figure this out, not the trusted authority figure. NTA. Jane told me Emily doesn't need a second father figure as she has her dad to fill that role. I honestly would remind her of this. NTA. When your wife has custody of Emily, she has to take care of her or find childcare. It's one thing to ask you to help out from time to time by babysitting. It's quite another to make you her primary source of childcare. You don't have children and shouldn't make sacrifices for her daughter. That's not the role of a step-parent. NTA. The ex and his family can't make the situation work with Emily. She is being dumped on you. The person your wife stated isn't a father figure for her. You let her know from the beginning that your Saturdays would not change. Plus, she has no right to accept the deal without telling you, especially since it so clearly will affect your life for the next year. Does she really not have any family that can take the kid for those hours? She then got mad and said golf is stupid and I should put my stepdaughter over my siblings. Fuck that. Your siblings are your blood relatives whom you are close to. Emily is just your stepdaughter. And your siblings have been in your life a hell of a lot longer. NTA. Emily and her new step-siblings don't get along at all. They're always fighting and it's pretty toxic. You'd think this would have been a deal-breaker. No? NTA. For obvious reasons, I also think it's such irresponsible parenting for Emily's mom and dad to ignore the fact that her new step-siblings are bullying her out of her own dad's house. They're just going to change up all of their lives instead, so they don't have to deal with it. NTA. Your wife should have consulted with you before agreeing to new custody terms with her ex. Since a huge change in the schedule affects you as well, she made assumptions and didn't discuss them with you at all. NTA. But your wife is for making this change without discussing it with you. No matter what Redditors think, you're hurting your relationship by not helping at all. You offer help, but once it's actually needed you say you can't. You're really dependable. Not really. Wife is also flawed in how she reacted. But at the end of the day you are treating your marriage like it's not important. Won't be surprised if y'all divorce. You think you're going to marry someone with a small child and not contribute to childcare at all? YTA. No one is thinking of how this is affecting Emily, poor girl. I feel bad for all the selfish adults she has to put up with in her life. Like it or not, you're her stepfather. You're not her father, but you are a parental figure. When you married a woman with a child you took on that responsibility. It's not babysitting since she's your stepchild. It's parenting, which you signed up for. However, I don't feel you should give up your long-standing commitment to your siblings. It seems like the best solution would be for the bio-dad to switch up the days for his new wife's kids, as you two don't have the availability on the new dates. NTA. Your wife shouldn't have agreed without talking to you and before making sure she had everything planned out. She was hoping you'd just go along with her. Tell her that you think a big decision like that should have been discussed and ask her why she didn't make sure everything would work before agreeing. NTA. Not your problem. Oh, trusted adult only. This is the hill to die on. NTA. Even if you were the primary dad, your wife would be the asshole for agreeing to such a big lifestyle switch without so much as a conversation. YTA. You said your wife's course is only for a year, so this wouldn't be forever. Instead of prioritizing your family, you're putting your hobbies above your wife's education and your stepdaughter's well-being. Regardless of you not needing to be a father figure, you are still an important person in your wife and stepdaughter's lives. And this comes with responsibility also. Remember that one day your stepdaughter will be an adult, How would you like her to look back on and remember this time? Edit. I think YTA is too strong. Probably Esh.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.